Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint and today I want to show you around my new gaming desk setup. It's something that I've been working on over the last few months, and I have shared a couple of photos and stories over on Instagram, but I've never done an actual tour. Well, today I'm going to cover it all, including what I've used, where it's from, and some cool features that you might want to include in your own setup. And the big one for me is this new Secretlab desk, which could be the end game of all gaming desks. Everything I show you today is linked down in the description, along with any discount codes that I might have found, so if you are interested, make sure you check those out. And thank you to Coursera for sponsoring a portion of today's video. First up, I've got to talk about the standing desk. It's from Secretlab and it's called their MAGNUS Pro XL, and this all black metal desk is on a whole different level to anything else that I've seen. Firstly, the packaging that it comes in immediately makes it look and feel premium. The branding, the manuals, even this little Secretlab toolkit that you get. Everything is well labelled and packaged, and the instructions are clear enough that within about 30 minutes you should be up and running. The legs are pre-built and you just need to slot them onto the frame and connect them to the plugs. Then you attach the 2 feet by lining them up and screwing them in. These little brackets, well, they need fit into the back of the desk, and this is how the cable management tray is installed. Now we just need to flip it over, install the top cover, and voila, the desk is built. So as you can see, it's a full black metal desk, and this thing looks and feels really nice. So although you could use the desk without a pad, it's probably best to add one. And I actually opted for their signature black mag pad, which is a full magnetic desk pad that covers the entire desk. Now as this desk is metal, it means that the pad actually sticks to the top with no creases or folds. Plus it means once it's in place, it will never slide around. So the model that I have here is the Pro XL, and that measures 177 by 80 centimeters. But there's also a smaller one which is 150 by 70 centimeters. And looking at it, this could be the cleanest gaming desk out there right now. There's some subtle branding throughout, including the Magnus logos on the pad and on the back cover, as well as some Secretlab logos scattered around the frame. And something I really like is that Secretlab have actually integrated the control panel into the desk itself, and this just looks awesome. There's a physical button to turn it on and off, which means the LED panel isn't always on when you don't need it. Then when I want to move the desk up and down, I just need to press the green or the red arrows, or of course I can use one of the 3 preset buttons. I have number 1 set to the sitting position, and I have number 2 set to standing. Sure, I don't stand every single day, but the fact is I can adjust the height of the desk to the perfect height for both sitting and standing, and the motors on this are crazy quiet. But these next 2 features are what makes this desk a real game changer. First up, I spend way too much time on cable management, doing everything I can to hide every single cable out of sight, but this tray takes care of all of that. All you need to do is open the cover, pop all of your cables or power packs inside, and that's it. And not only that, you cannot see any of these cables under the desk. And here's the big one. This desk has the world's first fully integrated power supply column. This means no more power cables hanging down as they are inside the leg. There is literally a plug at the top and bottom, so you don't need to try and hide these cables down the side. All I've done is popped an extension cable inside the tray and that powers everything on the desk. And when I need to swap any of the cables, it's just a case of opening the cover and I can do it all from the top. There's only one issue that I've got, which is I still need to use an Ethernet cable. For now I've hidden the cable inside this magnetic sheath, which simply sticks to the side of the desk and keeps the cables out of sight. But Secretlab are working on a LAN cable extension accessory. It's listed on their website as coming soon. This will be a brilliant accessory once it launches, and something I will grab as soon as it does. But until then, this will do fine. So I get a lot of comments about this chair asking where it's from or what it is. Well, it's from Herman Miller and it's their Embody Logitech edition. And out of the 3 Herman Miller chairs that I own, this was my first and is still my favourite. I actually originally picked it based on its design alone, as it looks like a gaming chair but not like the rest. And this chair is crazy comfy. Like, it fully supports your back and posture, and even after an entire day or night sitting here, I never get backache. The rear is designed to flex as you move, so there's no hard outer frame. So as I move, it moves with me. It then has all of the usual adjustments, like seat and arm positioning to get it just right for you. The only thing it doesn't have is a headrest. Now I went with the all black option, but it's also available in 4 different colours on their website. I think this is probably their nicest looking chair that they sell. And although the casters will easily roll around on carpet, I do have one of these hard plastic mats underneath. Firstly, because it does make it a little easier to move around, and secondly, it protects my carpet underneath from wearing out. It's got spikes on the bottom to keep it in place, and it's a solid piece rather than a roll, so it doesn't fold or crease. And the monitor that I'm using is this 27-inch OLED gaming monitor from LG. It's called the 27GR95QE, and for me it's probably one of the nicest looking monitors I've used in my setup. It not only looks great with the ultra thin bezels and frame, but as it's an OLED, the picture quality, viewing angles and black levels are incredible. I'm using it with the PS5, but it is capable of up to 240Hz, so it would be great for PC gaming too. Then it has the usual VRR, HDMI 2.1 and even DisplayPort 1.4. The only thing it lacks is it's not 4K as it is limited to 1440p. But on a screen this size you would struggle to notice the difference anyway. But one cool feature that I like about these UltraGear monitors are the rear designs. It's got this nice hexagon LED strip that you can actually change the colours of in the settings. I'll be honest, it's not super bright, but it still looks nice in the setup. And instead of fiddling around with the little button under the monitor to adjust the settings, this one actually comes with a remote control. It makes it so much easier for messing around with the settings or bringing up the game optimizer mode. And holding the monitor up is this Secretlab MAGNUS arm. I normally only use the stands or the feet that the monitors come with, but I decided with this setup to give one of these arms a try. Now as it's designed for the Magnus desk, it fits perfectly. The base slides onto the desk and it screws into place, and the arms just slot onto that. Then as it's a VESA supported arm, it means any monitor that has either 75 or 100mm VESA holes and up to 8kg in weight will fit fine. So this is the first time that I've ever used a monitor arm on my gaming setup, and this has converted me to using one all of the time. I love this clean look and how the monitor is just floating here. I also have full control over where I want it to sit. It can be tilted both horizontally or vertically, moved up and down, as well as forwards and backwards. On top of that, it has a nice cable management solution built in. These are magnetic clips that you can use to hide your cables inside. Then you simply stick them under the arms to keep them out of the way. The only cable that you might see is the one hanging down behind the bottom plate. But other than that, it's a pretty clean design. Let me tell you about today's sponsor, Coursera. They offer thousands of courses through their site, from data science to languages, programming and even time management. But the category that stands out to me the most, probably due to my background in web development, are the Google programs. They cover data analytics, digital marketing, IT support and my favourite, UX design. Being able to follow the design process and understanding the foundation of UX will not only help you improve customer retention, but it will increase conversions and sales in your projects. This is a huge benefit to any business that you want to work for. Now the certification is beginner level, so you don't need any previous experience to get started. Plus the certification is designed in a way that it will prepare you for an entry-level role within 6 months. And these are all completely self-paced and you get a certificate at the end. So if you want to learn something new and upskill, click the link in the description and sign up for the 7-day free trial. So to the right of the monitor I have my PlayStation 5, which you might be surprised to see that there's no PC here. I know I should really build one, but for me the PS5 does it all. It's got an awesome library of games, it's quiet, and it's where all of my mates play. All I've done is I've swapped out the white plates and fitted the grey camo ones instead, but I was tempted to go back to the black ones, although those are currently on my PS5 in the living room. Next to that is the DualSense Edge controller, and this is the official Pro controller that PlayStation released a few months ago. It's got a couple of rear buttons as well as the adjustable triggers, so you can change the trigger stop between normal and almost instant at a click of a button. Now this is great for most games, but for FPS games like Call of Duty, I tend to use my SCUF controllers instead. I find the extra 2 paddles on the rear and those instant triggers that little bit better for those games. And this here is a wooden controller stand from Geek Made Designs. I've been using their stuff for years and I love the way you can display your controllers in this way. I've actually got 2 of their stands in my setup. I've got the one over on my desk and this one over here on my shelving. And then on the other end of the desk I have my headset. Now up until last week I was actually using the SteelSeries Nova Pro wired headset, which I've had for nearly a year, but I kind of wanted fewer wires, so I decided to go for the wireless version instead. Now I've had quite a few headsets over the years, but the Nova Pros for me are one of the best. Firstly, it comes with a game DAC that allows you to tweak the levels and the settings on this little OLED screen. It's also got rotating ear cups, active noise cancelling, as well as a noise cancelling microphone. Then there's the comfort. These feel premium with the metal band, but are still comfy when wearing them. But for me, the biggest and best feature are the batteries. Not only does it have a battery life of around 22 hours, which is awesome, it comes with 2 batteries. One of those lives inside the headset, which you can get to by removing the ear cup cover, and the other is actually inside the base station charging. This means the headset will never be flat, as you'll always have one battery ready to go. It is such a clever design and one of the reasons I picked this over the others. Now I originally thought that the only difference between the 2 versions was wired and wireless, but that's not the case at all. In fact, I might even do a full review of these headsets over the coming weeks to show you what the differences are. And the Nova Pro wireless, well, they're sitting on this Grove-made stand. It's got a black leather outside and a nice piece of walnut wood in the middle. It's probably one of the least gaming focused headphone stands out there, but I really like the look of this and I think it fits well with the setup. And this right here, well, this is my PlayStation 4. It's a limited edition 500 million PS4 Pro. Now, it launched back in 2018 when PlayStation passed 500 million console sales, and I was fortunate enough to buy one at launch. Now, I know I could have kept it unopened in the box, but for the first 2 years I actually used this every single day. If you ever watched my first ever room tour video in the old house, you will have seen that on the wall behind the TV. Well, since the PS5 launched, it has been boxed up, but I thought it was time to show it some love on the new setup. Fortunately, I still had the hide it mounts bracket, so I decided to wall mount it alongside the desk. So these brackets are solid metal and simply attached to the wall using a couple of screws. Then the console slides in and it secures it in place. They actually make these brackets for pretty much every console that you can think of. Now, you might have noticed that the PlayStation 4 still has the protective stickers on, although they are looking a little scratched and tired, but the console itself is still immaculate underneath. But yeah, I am so pleased I never sold this console, as I think it looks awesome on the wall. So although I'm a huge fan of RGB lighting, I think going overboard with sticking lights and panels all over your room can end up looking pretty tacky. So I've got an IKEA lamp in the corner with a LIFX bulb inside, and this lets me change it from white to any colour that I like, but I still wanted something else. So I went for a set of these Y lights from Govee. It comes with 7 pieces in the box and you can arrange them however you'd like on your wall. They can then be controlled via the app to have any colour combo that you can think of. I actually only stuck 5 to my wall as I thought that was enough without going over the top. And what I liked about these is the fact that when they are off, it kind of just looks like a piece of art. It's just a nice silver design on the wall that doesn't look like a light strip. And then when they are on, they completely transform the look of the setup. Then behind the desk, I've also added an LED strip. Now, most strips just stick to the back of a desk using 3M tape, but this nanoleaf set is designed specifically for the Magnus desk. It's magnetic too, so it sticks to the desk with no mess at all. And what I like about all of these lights is I can have a full-on RGB vibe at night, but during the day, simply turning them off gives me a nice clean and minimal setup. So the Y lights that I have on the wall do come with a massive plug, which is a bit of a pain to hide. So what I've done is I've actually gone and hidden it behind the plant pot beside the desk. And as for the plants, this is a Sansevieria snake plant, which is one of the best plants to keep indoors. It likes the shade and doesn't need too much water, so it's ideal for me to keep alive. And then over here I have my shelves, and this is where I store and show off some of the merch that I've picked up over the years. Things like the Last of Us Part 2 Ellie statue. I think both the statue and the box that it comes in just look so nice, and it's also one of my favourite games on PlayStation. Then I've got some custom made wooden PlayStation icons from Geek Made Designs, and they made these for me a few years ago. They do also sell these from time to time on their website, so it's worth keeping an eye out. Next to that is the God of War Ragnarok hammer, and this came in the Jotner edition. The detail on this is crazy, and it actually feels pretty weighty. Then I've got a few other things, including the Last of Us metal cup. I got this when I went to the TV show premiere in London earlier this year. And here is my childhood N64 console with the classic GoldenEye game. So many great memories on this console. I've got a few controllers on here as well, including the Scuff Reflex in grey, and I have another one in the Nebula colour. Both are the FPS controllers, so they have the instant mouse-like triggers, and they both have the 4 paddles on the rear. I've also very recently signed up with Scuff, so if you want to buy a controller for yourself, use the code SPAWN and you will get 5% off your order. I've dropped a link below if you want to check it out. And this is probably my favourite non-pro controller, the grey camo, which matches the plates I have on the PS5. Oh, and here's the 500 milliamp PS4 controller too, and that goes with the PS4. Under that I have a Harman Kardon speaker, and I use that for playing music as well as turning the lights on and off in the room. Then there's the PSVR 2 kit, both the headset and the Sense controllers in their charging dock. I've had a lot of fun on this already over the last few months, and I have actually covered a few videos on the channel including the best games to play right now. Then we have the OLED Switch console, a fake plant, and my collection of steelbooks. There's the Firefly edition for The Last of Us on PS5, as well as the Last of Us Part 2 steelbook. But I think my favourite is the Spider-Man one, although the Resident Evil 4 remake and the Dead Island 2 are pretty nice as well. So even though I buy most of my games digitally, I always have a soft spot for the steelbooks. I think I'll continue to buy these even though I'd rather play them digitally. Over here on the wall I have my YouTube play button, and that's for passing 100,000 subs, which is still mental. I cannot believe how many of you watch and follow me on here. So thank you, I really appreciate it. And this, well, I'm not sure where to put it, but it's the lightsaber from Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I actually had to import the blade as they don't sell these in the UK, but it's a cool collector's edition item that I need to decide where to store it. Then you might wonder where this door leads to. Well, this is the living room. This features quite a lot on the channel. Whenever I do a TV unboxing, it's done in here. I will eventually do a full room tour, but I still have a few bits I want to do before then. It's not quite finished since moving in November. And the other door, well, that leads out to my hallway. But let me show you this room. This is my storage room where I keep all of the boxes and tech that I don't want lying around. It's kind of how I keep the rest of the house looking pretty tidy. As for future plans, I'm tempted to buy a neon sign to go above the desk that says SpawnPoiint. I've seen a few of these around and they do look good, but I'm a little worried it might look a little tacky, so I'm still on the fence with this. Otherwise, for now, I am really happy with how this has turned out. It's clean and minimal, but still does everything that I need when it comes to gaming. It really is my dream setup and this desk finishes it off nicely. But let me know what you think to it and if there's anything that you would change or add. Now drop a nice gaming setup in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out my LG G3 video next, as I review the 77-inch OLED on the channel last week. Well, thanks for watching. Please like, sub and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Until next time.